Well, single shot Sunday. Anyways, you could, as you probably noticed, I put malfunction drill. Um, so many drills out there to do, reloads, shooting on the go, stay out the X, all that good stuff. Malfunction drills, though, when you're in a dire moment and bad shit happens and you gotta know what to do in case it does. Um, one of the best ideas I can tell you to try out if you go shooting a lot like me. I understand a lot of people don't have the same access to firing ranges and everything along that line. But you empty your magazine out, grab a snap cap. For those of you that don't know what a snap cap is, it's a dummy round. It's completely inert, no powder, no nothing, no primer. Don't go pulling Alec Baldwin's on people. Throw that in the pile. Just grab the rounds. Don't look. Randomly load your magazine up so you don't know which one's going to be the dummy round. Then when you get out to the range, you shoot. Your firearm's obviously not going to cycle. It's not going to complete. It won't go back and recharge a battery if you're shooting semi-automatics. And then from that point forward, you make the adjustments. And I'll drop the video on this a little bit later. But basically, that's the way to go with it. With that being the case, yesterday I was pretty fired up, man. I mean, I was pretty pissed off in the morning, and that would be because there's a YouTuber who was putting out crap, telling people not to let their kids join the military. And that right there, especially when it's coming from the mouth of somebody who's never done a single day in the military, really pisses me off, man. I mean, like, this guy, I'm not sure if he understands this, but when people say veteran doesn't mean just somebody who's gone into combat. Veteran is somebody who's served, period. The majority of people in the military do not ever, deal with combat. The very, very small, low percentage, and most of them are support. It's a support type MOS. But this guy, first he starts off saying, "Oh, it was the Armistice Day and all this stuff," and it starts off kind of like all positive for Veterans Day and all this junk, and then as I'm reading down, it gets to globalist and fascist and all this stuff, fighting wars, so all these guys and CEOs can gain money, which, what? One thing I will say, big companies or military contracts for private contracting have been going on since the beginning of time. Anybody that manufactures weapons, deals arms, or anything like that, is private companies for the government. We don't have government agencies. We don't that develop their own firearms. We don't have, developing their own ammunitions. These are all private companies. I mean, if you watch any of my Gunfather little short episodes, or whatever you want to call them, on my long form content, Samuel Colt, that's how he got his start. It was government contracting. War makes people money. Especially in the weapons industry. So, open your eyes, dude. You just sound like a douche when you say things like that. For instance, you look at the Beretta. Beretta's 500 years old. They've been doing government contracts for 500 years. I actually have seen the copy of the banknote they have, in their original order of however many of those muskets they wanted. Government contracting and war, that's like cohesive synergy. I don't know what people call it nowadays. But, telling people to discourage their kids from enlisting, okay, so you're going to tell people not to join. Well, then who's going to defend the country? It's a job nobody wants to do as it is. You got a few people that are actually willing to go do it. If it were up to me, and this is just my opinion, I think, hell, do a mandatory service amount. a lot of European countries do, or the Middle Eastern countries do. I mean, like Israelis, man, mandatory. You got to join in. It's quite frankly, it's just so funny the amount of hypocrisy and stupidity with people. But it's JC for you. That's what JC does. He's a dumbass. And I mean, the fact you would discourage people, a lot of people, in those positions and situations, and I know quite a few grew up in bad neighborhoods. They just wanted to have a better life, man, and that was a way of getting out. And I don't know anything about the street life or any of that crap. I'm not a tough guy. I didn't grow up in that crap. I grew up a white kid and farm boy, whatever, not in the hood. But to me, I just think you've got these kids who live in terrible communities and stuff, and the military is an opportunity for them to get out. And then you want to discourage that. I think, well, that's pretty sad, and shame on you, dude. So any parent that would discourage their kid from doing something their kid wants to do, that's I call it proactive. Shame on them. But anyways, we'll skip off that topic here. I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but this is an interesting article I saw. The United States Air Force, the first airman female to get a Silver Star, and I'll put up more information about it later. I was just reading it before I hopped on, but there's only been 10 women in the entire history of the United States military to receive a Silver Star. Now, and for you guys that don't know, with the award system, you have your Medal of Honor, which is damn near impossible to none to get. I mean, it's usually only awarded to people who have died. I mean, for the most part, when they receive that award, it's after death. Now, there's been a few in the last 20 years that are still alive, but I mean, we're 20 years out in the desert. What do you expect? So you've got that. If you're in the Navy or Marine Corps, there's the Navy Cross, which is, that's your next down. If you're not, you've got your Silver Star, and then you've got your Bronze Star after that. But like your Silver Star, I mean, these items of valor, you really have to, I mean, to earn these things it's a serious thing, man. Very, very hard to get. Let's put it that way. And, they don't hand those out. It's not a participation trophy. Again, a lot of the time, people that earn these types of awards, they've been killed in action or, along that line. I mean, but this lady, she was I think F-22, I don't know, she was F-15 pilot, something along that line. She shot down 80 out of those drones that Iran was launching back in April. There was 200 plus. Her herself shot down like 80 of them, 80 drones or something like that. Anyways, when I put the stuff up, you guys will check it out, man. That's freaking awesome. I mean, it's kind of interesting, the fact that, you really don't see too many females getting these types of awards. And a lot of it, I know, is because they're not in combat, quite a bit. But I thought that was pretty interesting. It's kind of cool. I mean, being a first and then getting something like that, it's pretty special. So congratulations to her. I mean, man, that's a pretty neat thing to happen. So that's some positive news here, folks. God, man, hey, what's up, Sonny? Thanks for dropping in, man. My one person that watches my lives. But I checked out that shotgun you were telling me, dude. That thing's pretty sick looking. I like it. Bad thing about bullpups for me, because I'm left-handed, dude. I'd have to actually. Hey, good morning, man. I'd have to get a left-handed shotgun for a bullpup, because if I'm holding a bullpup, dude, that's a righty, I'm gonna be blowing my eardrum right out, getting hit in the face with shells and everything like that. But for the most part, but no, I looked at that thing. That's pretty neat. I like how it's got the carry handle on the top of it. That that reminds me of you know, like my AR and all that stuff. I love the old school handles on the top. HK's got a couple cool bullpups, machine pistols, and things like that that have handles and like cool handles and scope things on them and all that stuff, man. Pretty sick. But yeah, I'll post that on my community page for that captain Air Force. I thought that was neat. You don't really hear too much about people in the Air Force getting awards either. I mean, you know, a lot of your Valor awards that we hear about, it's I mean, you might hear about like pilots, you know, helicopter pilots and stuff like that who've flown in, you know, they're dropping the 9 line and all that stuff because they're doing a medic extraction or something along that line. But like, you know, something like this where it's fighter jets, and I think if I remember correctly, she's actually a instructor. I don't know. I don't know how it works with the airplanes and pilots, dude. I'm not that smart, you know. But whatever her titles and everything like that were, I should have wrote it down. I just barely read it before I hopped on. But I don't know, man. I mean, like that's a pretty cool thing. I mean, 80 drones out of 200 and something, and then the other ones got shot down by a bunch of other people. But you know, it's like you watch stuff like Top Gun, which, you know, it's fiction. It's total fiction, but it's fun to watch. But then you think, you know, you've got the real Top Gun people like this lady who's out there doing that, and I just think, man, I mean, then I think of, you know, I do like these drills where I'm doing, you know, shooting on the move, you know, running and shooting or walking and shooting or whatever the case is. Think about that, but then think about being in like, you know, these F-15s and stuff like that, man, going, you know, 400, whatever, 800 miles an hour, shooting and just shooting all this stuff, dude, at the same time. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, that's just nuts. And like the size of the bullets and everything like that the airplanes have, I mean, it's insane. I'll tell you one of the coolest things that you'll ever see in your life. Well, most of you probably never will, but you can probably look it up on the internet. Is watching an A-10 just take stuff out, dude. A-10s, I mean, watching them just mow things down to, I mean, just complete dust and dirt. Like it's dude, warthogs are freaking badass, man. Way cool jets to watch. But you know, that's really all I got today, man. I mean, you know, with some of the drills coming up, one thing I will say, and these aren't real bullets, they're snap caps. But you know, if you guys don't, you can get snap caps. You know, I've got them for shotguns, all the different types. I use them when I do, if I'm doing repairs, you know, modifications, things like that. The malfunction drills, though, they play a good role, like I said earlier, because they're inert. So, you know, there's no blasting powder in them. And like I said, so you'll be shooting, if you load it randomly into the mag, you'll be shooting, your gun's not going to cycle properly because you'll hit a snap cap. And then that's when you go from the malfunction drill from that point. And rather than panic if it happens to you in real life when you have a malfunction, you've trained and done it so many times subconsciously, you will tap, rack, bang, or drop the mag, new mag in, rack it again, whatever. I mean, you know, and that's kind of the whole point of the purpose of it. And it sounds silly, but malfunctions, when you shoot a lot, you know, they tend to happen. I mean, hell, or when you don't shoot a lot, they tend to happen. I mean, it's as simple as if you, man, I hate to do it, but I have to. Doggone High Point, for instance, those cheap High Point pistols, or Raven, or Lorison, or whatever those, all the Saturday Night Special ones are. You get out there, man, somebody pulls a gun, you pull a gun to shoot back or whatever. You jam, well, right there, they're gonna be firing, whatever. I mean, like, so it's things to think about. Human nature, when we get intimidated, we get scared when something happens unexpectedly. We have this tendency to panic, and I guess the hard part about it is when you panic, your head's going all over the place. I mean, It's learning mentally to control yourself. You're in a scary, terrible situation, but you have to keep calm rather than lose your cool and make more errors and mistakes. But and that's just training. That's training how it goes. But I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't help this, and I'm not sure if anybody else who's watching this later. Uh, I was at the hardware store with my wife, and they sell tactical Metro sling bags. Now, for all of you guys that don't know what that is, I didn't know what it was until yesterday. It's a fanny pack, but it's what tactical Metro. So total Metro, dudes. It's over on my in my shorts. You can now carry your gun in this Metro sling bag, man. And like, first thing I thought is like, oh my gosh, it's that Johnny Q, dude. My wife and I just laugh our asses off at that guy, man. I mean, he's over there like rocking the little fanny pack. See, I don't. Here's the funny thing about these fanny packs, man. I have enough dignity that I won't even buy one. I'll look at it, I'll take a picture of it, but man, I won't even buy one to make fun of that dude, man. I'd be ashamed to even own one. But oh man, it's just Metro sling bag. It's a fucking fanny pack, man. Keeping your gun in a fanny pack, and like, here's the best part too. So like, the fanny pack or whatever, these Metro sling bags as they're called, they've got the holster in it or whatever you can slide your gun into. Yeah, that's neat and all that stuff. It's Kydex, it's hard, it holds its shape. But like, the best part about it though is he walks around like in his little clip video, and he's got like his hand right here on the little zipper thing that he pulls down. And I just thought in my head, if I'm gonna go rob somebody, or like if I was a criminal, or if I was just somebody in general profiling people and being like, okay, who would be the target here? I see this little dude who's an Oompa Loompa walking around. He's got his hand right here walking around with his Metro sling bag, looped around. First and foremost, any of us see a guy with a fanny pack on, that's automatic, like, okay, something's not right with that dude. This isn't the early 90s anymore, so why is this guy rocking a fanny pack? He's got then he's got it sling down like this. It's like, okay, so I don't know, man purse. And now we all know that dudes keep their guns in them and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that guy's got a gun. He'd be the first person to go. I mean, it's like, dude, you give away your tactics. It's like people that oh man, my car got broken into and my guns got stolen out of my car and all this stuff. I'm like, well, when you have big old Smith and Wesson stickers on the back of your window, on the back window of your car, and Glock or all this crap or whatever, people see that stuff and they think, oh, this dude likes guns. Okay, I'm sure there's probably one in the car, because let's face it, how many people do you guys know that have guns in the car, or shooting? They always keep in the car. I've got one. Mine's locked down though and locked in. I mean, you have to either use a key to open it or do the little finger password thing. But I don't keep stickers on my car, put bumper stickers and all that shit on, giving away everything. I mean, it's like pretty much making yourself a target, or inside somewhere just sitting there. Old buddy, when he's still around, always had that shit. When I saw him, got robbed. Yep. Yeah, exactly, Sonny. I mean, it's just making yourself a target, and so many people, they don't realize it. I mean, one thing for certain. So like out here in South Dakota, a lot of people open carry. So and I live in a rural area though. I mean, like my town, there's only 13,000 people. It's not very many. People open carry here, and you wouldn't even get a second look if you open carry here. I mean, it's no big deal. But like, if you were to go out to, I don't know, big cities, I'm not sure, Kenosha, Wisconsin, you can open carry, but you'd still get looks that are odd. Now, if you're in a high crime area or whatever, you're open carrying, I'm sure you're going to be a target. The other bad thing about open carrying in high crime areas is people can run by and snatch your gun if you don't have a good holster. I mean, like, it's just a bad idea in general. That's just my thoughts. I mean, you're giving somebody else, you're giving up the edge, but you'd be the first to go if you have a gun. But concealed carry, all that stuff. It's all a lot of opinion. I'm not going to go any further into that one, but I do think gun-free zones are ridiculous. I will say, and because all those law-abiding criminals out there, man, they're gonna see that sign that says "No guns allowed," and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, no. When we go rob this place, guys, we can't take our guns in there with us because it's a gun-free zone. So let's stick with these rocks that we can find on the ground." It's like, come on, dude. Law-abiding criminals are gonna always have guns. They already have guns, and most of them probably shouldn't have them. I mean, like, I don't know. It just cracks me up. The mentality behind a lot of that shit. Just funny to me. Oh man, it's good, guys. The criminals will see those gun-free zone signs, and they will do the right thing because we can count on them to do that, guys. And that's them disarming, right? Oh man, yeah, that makes as much sense as, hey guys, you know what? We shouldn't go looking for Bin Laden. Let's just tell him he needs to come turn himself in, and he'll do it. It's dumb shit like that, man. Just the shit people say. Uh, but hey, I don't know. I don't know. It's up there with some crazy shit that JC would say. So there we have it, there, folks. But making yourself the target, stuff like that. It falls back onto just in your own neighborhood, for instance, and people that get robbed, unfortunately. A lot of times, if you leave you've got a trailer and you've got two jet skis sitting on it or whatever, and they're just hanging off on the side. You go on vacation and boom, somebody jacks your stuff. It's, well, you shouldn't have posted pictures that you were over in Florida or over in Texas or over in California or whatever for 3 weeks, or in Cabo or whatever. I mean, unfortunately, when you get robbed, most of the time it's people that know you. They know what you have. It's usually not random. Uh, it's an unfortunate thing, but that is the case. So I don't know, guys. I'm just rambling here, just chilling, killing, and wasting time. I know duck hunting season just opened. My brother Tony's already been out like crazy, but that's out in Utah or Idaho. Can't remember where, either or. So, all right, well, you guys take it easy. You guys have a good Sunday. There's my rant and craziness for the day, for the morning being. I'll be dropping those malfunction drill videos. Got some more ammo videos and stuff. I've got reloads and stuff like that we'll go over. Also debunking what people think hollow points do and what they actually do. There's some crazy shit out there. It's like kids say the darndest things sometimes with hollow points. I think there's this perception that people think that they just hit people and explode in their chest and all that stuff when they don't. I mean, it's ballistics on a hollow point. They just they blow back when it hits impact wise, and then it cuts tissue, it goes through, cuts tissue, organs, jams into bone. But it breaks up, so it's sharp, and it's more than just one cut area or whatnot. It's basically to cause as much damage as possible, but it doesn't explode in people. I do have exploding rounds though. Those are different and cool. But so with hollow points, for instance, that's the case. Now, hollow points, one thing to think about and take into consideration. Your basic lead hollow points, which I have not seen any like this in ages, they do break up. They bust up. They don't cut as well. They don't cut through tissue as well because lead is a soft metal. Jacketed hollow points, on the other hand, though, man, whether that brass forget about it, dude. You'll inflict some pretty good damage, get some pretty good bleeding internally, you know, all over the place. If you shoot with those, that's what I would recommend. You can buy, God, there's so many different self-defense rounds out there. I use Hornady mostly, and that's just because I've shot Hornady. I like the nickel casing. I like how smooth they are. I like the you know, how many grain and everything like that they use in the critical defense Hornady ones. I mean, there's some wicked ass hollow points out there, self-defense rounds. Rip rounds look cool. The ballistics and everything like that look cool on them. But man, $40, and the thing is like, I can't justify $40 and then trying to go train with those. And then, I mean, you know, if there was a way for me to reload, like if I could get some slugs that looked like the rip round slugs, because those things are wicked, dude. Those things are badass, man. But I've also heard some bad things about those, that they get really brittle, and just from shooting them, you know, they bust up in your own barrel and shit. But I don't know, I've never shot one. I could check it out though. But you know, those are some pretty cool hollow points. Thinking here, other ones out there that aren't too bad. You know, streak rounds, those crappy tracer ones that I bought during the summertime. I took out. You can see like maybe one or two of those tracer rounds. Those are hollow points. I don't know. I didn't think there was anything special about those or anything cool, but I don't know. They're hollow points on their own. I mean, they work. They're better than ball ammo, but you know, it's, oh yeah, that's another thing to clarify here. So you know, if you go through the Biden Awards section in my videos, you've got a bunch of political people. The lady saying that the ammo that has red tips, you guys got to watch that shit. That's so funny. Her saying, oh, and when these red tips on them, that makes them heat-seeking ammunition. Dude, if we had heat-seeking ammo, I would be buying that shit up like crazy. Do you know how cool that sounds? That's some like James Bond, you know, Inspector Gadget stuff, man. I mean, heat-seeking bullets, because it has a red tip. So what's the blue tip one? So I know most people are going, oh, that's just varmint rounds or whatever, or get your shitty green-tipped military surplus ammo. But I don't know, just some funny random shit, dude. Anyways, you guys have a good Sunday. Take care. Thanks for watching. I'll probably see some of you guys around later in some of the chats bullshitting and drop some videos. Take it easy.